It has now been 1,259 days since Baby Keem's last album. 4 years ago, back when the Melodic Blue released, it really felt like Baby Keem was on pace to become hip-hop's next superstar. Not to mention literally having family ties, as you can see by the cover art, being the cousin of Kendrick Lamar.
Lamar's recent kiss in Kendrick's music video sent shockwaves through fans. But for Baby Keem supporters, it only highlighted his abrupt disappearance. After going the entire year of 2024, without releasing a single song and remaining completely silent on social media, despite rumors and plus 110 betting odds, suggesting he might appear alongside his cousin at the Super Bowl, Keem was nowhere to be found. This absence has sparked speculation, with some even wondering if Drake is to blame. Aside from reposting a joke last August about Kendrick being the type to disappear after the bus passes, Drake also dragged Keem into the drama during their high-profile rap feud. On his third diss track, Family Matters, Drake claimed that Kendrick's best songs only shine because of Baby Keem's writing. While it's true that the cousins have acknowledged collaborating in the studio, just as many artists do, let's put that claim into perspective. When Good Kid, MAAD City dropped, Keem would have been just 12 years old, and by the time To Pimp a Butterfly was released, he was only 14. Fans later discovered that during that period, Keem was more focused on grinding through video games and uploading Minecraft YouTube videos than ghostwriting classic albums.
Yo, what is up guys, it's Haikizi HD, and basically what I'm going to be doing is a new series on my channel, which is the survival games.
Fans often joke about Keem taking a break from his Minecraft videos in 2011 to help write Good Kid, MAAD City. But in reality, their collaborations remained private for years. Over time, it became well known that Kendrick had actually passed down numerous songs and verses to Baby Keem, with countless reference tracks surfacing as proof. As we'll see more in a moment, this is just one of many examples of Kendrick ghostwriting for his younger cousin. However, regardless of which songs Drake considers to be hitting hard, his bar on Family Matters revealed something else: his clear respect for Baby Keem. While Drake used the track to take shots at Kendrick, his relationship with Keem runs much deeper than most people realize. Keem has admired Drake since the very beginning of his career, and in turn, Drake has been tapped in and showing support since Keem's early days as an artist.
Damn, I look up to you, you know what I mean? So, honestly, I'd be I look to him I'm yo, any advice I could ever soak up from him is just I try to do that, you know what I mean?
I think Thug had the best album of the year. Yeah, I actually, between him and Baby Keem, Die For My, just said that those are my two picks for album of the year.
Back in 2019, alongside Young Thug's So Much Fun, Drake named Baby Keem's Die For My, Net or Not, as one of his top 2 favorite albums of the year. This shout-out was a huge cosign for Keem, who was still an underground name at the time. Just 2 years later, Keem was rumored to have a feature on Drake's #1 hit, What's Next? But for some reason, his verse was removed from the final version, though his take eventually leaked. With this past history and mutual appreciation between both superstars, it raises the question: has Baby Keem remained in the shadows this past year simply to avoid taking sides in a rap beef between two artists he wants to maintain close relationships with? Before fully answering why Keem has seemingly disappeared, despite having 2 phones, it's worth considering the text messages he posted last January. In them, he revealed the name of his next album, Child with Wolves, a title he had originally shared with fans at one of his shows 2 years ago.
New album coming soon, motherfuckers. I love you all.
It's clear that Baby Keem had an album ready to go, but everything that has unfolded over the past 10 months has put him in a difficult position. Despite his past admiration for Drake, who was the most streamed artist on the planet in 2024, many expected Keem to take the side of his cousin Kendrick Lamar. However, at least so far, that hasn't happened. With a precise 37% chance of appearing alongside Kendrick at the Super Bowl, an event that went on to break Michael Jackson's record for the most watched halftime show ever, Keem was heavily favored to make a cameo, even leading FanDuel's betting odds at plus 110. Yet when the moment came, he was nowhere to be found. His absence was also notable at Kendrick Lamar's The Pop-Out concert last summer, an event labeled as Ken and Friends. While some fans argue that the concert was meant for LA artists only, featuring over 25 West Coast names throughout, its 3-hour runtime, Keem, despite being born in Los Angeles, actually grew up in Las Vegas, Nevada. Raised by his grandmother, this separation meant that Baby Keem spent much of his childhood apart from Kendrick, adding another layer to the ongoing mystery surrounding his recent disappearance.
As you guys lost touch, what had happened exactly?
I was a kid, honestly. Like, it's just, like, I wouldn't even say lost touch. Like, I was just like, last time I seen him, I was probably like really young, like 5 or something. I was just a kid. Like,
before signing with Kendrick Lamar's record label, P. Glang, Baby Keem had no idea for the longest time that his cousin even made music. It wasn't until after Kendrick released his 4th mixtape, Overly Dedicated, in 2010 that Keem became aware of his cousin's rising career. However, even as Kendrick was rapidly breaking into the mainstream, Keem remained out of touch with him, still living in a different state due to an unfortunate situation within their family. But when Keem turned 14, everything changed forever.
I didn't see him. It was an unfortunate situation that happened in my family. And then I guess we kind of just connected through that. Like, I wasn't really making music to the point where I would be like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? So I was just kicking it, like, you know, whatever, it was whatever. He didn't really even know until like later. I finally just like sent him a song and it was just like.
Here in 2025, it's common knowledge that Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar are cousins. But back then, that wasn't the case at all. In addition to being related to former NBA star Nick Young, Keem spent years unaware of his connection to Kendrick. After reconnecting, the two eventually started working on music, but not with Keem rapping. Instead, credited under his real name, Keem Carter, he landed production credits on Black Panther, the album, and went on to make beats for major projects like Schoolboy Q's Crash Talk, including Num Num Juice, J-Rock's Redemption, and Beyoncé's The Lion King, The Gift, all before officially collaborating with his cousin as a rapper. However, that's not to say Kendrick and Keem weren't already shaping each other's music. Leaked reference tracks reveal that Kendrick has been helping Keem write songs since the very start. While reference tracks are common in the music industry, and Kendrick has contributed to many artists, there's no denying his deep involvement in Keem's work. At least 4 Kendrick reference tracks surfaced from Keem's 2018 debut mixtape, The Sound of Bad Habit, 5 from Die For My, No Macoris, and another 3 from the Melodic Blue, including 16. With Kendrick's influence on Keem's music confirmed as far back as 2018, and conspiracies circulating that Keem might just be Kendrick's side project or alter ego, the question arises: has Kendrick's dominant run over the past year played a role in Keem's hiatus? Or is there something deeper going on behind the scenes? Some even speculated an injury after a viral clip showed Keem getting blasted by smoke, though that was quickly debunked as just a funny moment. While fans debate Keem's songwriting abilities and how much outside help he receives, there's no questioning his production skills. His old type beat YouTube channel, Beats by Carter, still exists today, despite his claims that he never intended to be a producer. Ironically, it was his own production on Orange Soda, a song that went viral on TikTok in 2019 and later served as the lead single for his breakout mixtape that solidified his rise. But despite his early success, there was still one artist Keem dreamed of working with, Drake, one of his biggest inspirations. With Die For My, Bokiki, being Drake's favorite album of 2019, neither of them could have predicted that just 4 years later, Drake would become his cousin's biggest rival. After first connecting over DM, Baby Keem and Drake were set to collaborate in 2021, a moment fans had been eagerly anticipating. It was later revealed that Keem had recorded a feature for What's Next, the intro track on Drake's Scary Hours 2. However, much like a Playboy Cardi verse that was also scrapped, Keem was mysteriously cut from the final release. This was especially strange for 2 reasons. First, because Keem's verse, as heard in leaks, was undeniably strong. And second, because Drake has a well-documented history of working with the hottest rising artists to the point where the Drake stimulus package became a phenomenon. Looking back now, many fans speculate that Drake's decision to remove Keem had less to do with the song itself and more to do with his close ties to Kendrick Lamar and his signing to Kendrick's label protégé. However, when asked about his verse being cut, Baby Keem simply responded,
Like Drake tapped in, so as he should, he tapped in. So he, as soon as Die For My Bitch came out, I think it was probably like a few months after, he like reached out.
After first connecting over DM, Baby Keem and Drake were set to collaborate in 2021, a moment fans had been eagerly anticipating. It was later revealed that Keem had recorded a feature for What's Next, the intro track on Drake's Scary Hours 2. However, much like a Playboy Cardi verse that was also scrapped, Keem was mysteriously cut from the final release. This was especially strange for two reasons. First, because Keem's verse, as heard in leaks, was undeniably strong. And second, because Drake has a well-documented history of working with the hottest rising artists to the point where the Drake stimulus package became a phenomenon. Looking back now, many fans speculate that Drake's decision to remove Keem had less to do with the song itself and more to do with his close ties to Kendrick Lamar and his signing to Kendrick's label protégé. However, when asked about his verse being cut, Baby Keem simply responded,
You and Cardi were supposed to be on What's Next.
Right.
Or whatever happened with that.
I don't know. That's just his process. And, I think I look at it like we don't work now, then we work later. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially with someone like Drake.
The two have yet to collaborate since. But 5 months after Scary Hours 2 dropped, Baby Keem and Kendrick Lamar released their first official song together, Family Ties. The track's title, along with its artwork featuring an old family photo, drew clear parallels to Kendrick's Good Kid, MAAD City cover. Notably, Family Ties dropped just 1 week before Drake's Certified Lover Boy, fueling speculation about subtle jabs in the lyrics. Many believe Baby Keem included a bar aimed at Drake toward the end of his verse. That's cool. The theory suggests that Keem is listing Drake as the second best rapper in the world, behind Kendrick, and implying that Drake DM'd his girl, but Keem remains unbothered. Given Drake's history of petty moves involving women connected to his rivals, something Kanye West has also spoken about, this interpretation doesn't seem far-fetched.
Drake don't do a diss like an outright diss song where it's a headshot. He's gonna set it up like war. He's gonna go and, DM every single girl in your family, every single girl around your family, everybody, all your niggas, girl, He's gonna...
But regardless of whether Baby Keem was referencing Drake and Family Ties or not, the Grammy-winning single became a standout track on his 2021 debut studio album, The Melodic Blue, where he co-produced 14 of the 16 songs himself. Following this impressive debut, Keem landed placements on both Donda and Donda 2, back when Kanye West still had a solid reputation and wasn't using AI to make music, as I covered in a previous video. A year later, The Melodic Blue, Deluxe, was released, and in 2022, Keem joined Kendrick on the Big Steppers tour after assisting on Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, yet another major milestone for him, thanks to his cousin. Then came 2023. On the morning of May 30th, fans were surprised by a new music video uploaded to the P-Glang YouTube channel, The Hillbillies. This Jersey Club-inspired track, which Keem himself described as a sticky dub, a reference to Drake's 2022 song Sticky, had an almost identical flow to the Honestly Nevermind single. However, as one Redditor pointed out, it was hard to determine whether this interpolation was meant as a playful nod or subtle mockery. At the time, it felt lighthearted, but in retrospect, many fans now see it as disrespectful. That fall, Keem and Kendrick performed together under the Hillbillies moniker, headlining Tyler, the creator's Camp Flog Gnaw Festival. Yet, despite teasing his next album multiple times, including announcing it live on stage, no new project followed. 1. Fan joked, "Didn't he say that last year too?" As of today, The Melodic Blue remains Baby Keem's only album, and The Hillbillies still stands as his last official release. Well, unless you count his one word on Tyler, the creator's 2023 album, Huh. Other than that, Keem has been silent. With no apparent involvement in Kendrick's GNX project either, it has now been nearly 2 years since the Hillbillies, and almost 4 since the Melodic Blue. Few artists can afford to take this long of a break while maintaining their relevance. So, is Kendrick Lamar holding Baby Keem hostage in the P-Glang basement? Or is he simply too deep into PlayStation to record music? In early 2024, Keem teased his long-awaited Child with Wolves album, posting text messages on his Instagram story, along with potential artwork mock-ups and inspirations for the project. Another post showed him messaging in an album group chat, stating he wanted to finish it. But that was January of last year, and we all remember what happened 3 months later. I still got PTSD, Mother Reminker. Kendrick Lamar rapped in a hidden feature on Future and Metro Boomin's We Don't Trust You, shocking the world by taking direct shots at Drake and J. Cole. By now, everyone knows the story of the beef. But what was often overlooked in the chaos was Baby Keem. As Kendrick's younger cousin, and essentially his apprentice, Keem had to sit back and watch as his mentor tried to take down one of his biggest idols. That couldn't have been easy. But when it comes to Keem and Kendrick, their family ties run deep.
It goes beyond music with me and him. So, whenever I need anything regarding like life, and if I need some wisdom, then that's who I go to, That's one of the first people I look towards.
As we later learned, despite not performing at the Pop-Out concert last summer, which only fueled more speculation, Baby Keem was actually at Kendrick's show, just staying behind the scenes as he often does. If we're being honest, Keem has never seemed like the type of rapper who chases fame or clout. While he's never directly explained his long hiatus, the most logical reason is that Kendrick's beef with Drake caused a major delay in his rollout. It really seemed like Keem had an album ready to go last year, but understandably, he likely decided to wait until things settled between his cousin and Drake. And now, it looks like that time might finally be approaching. In September 2024, 4 months after Not Like Us, fans noticed that Baby Keem's website had been updated. If you visit eerietimes.com, Keem's personal URL, you're met with a cryptic message that translates to "The future is eerie" in Morse code. Adding to the mystery, his longtime producer, Cardo Gotwings, tweeted the same phrase, fueling speculation that Keem's long-awaited album was on the horizon. Then, on January 4th, 2025, Keem tweeted, "What's new?" His only real tweet since 2022, giving fans hope that his rollout was finally kicking off. But unfortunately, this remains the last we've heard from him. Meanwhile, in an unrelated but equally strange turn of events, Lil Baby found himself in legal trouble after an unexpected run-in with law enforcement. Just 1 week after Gunna testified in the YSL trial, Lil Baby was pulled over for an illegal window tint. The official body cam footage, later released online, captured their interaction. "You know why I pulled you over? These windows, too, tinted. You can't see nothing. I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can see me," Lil Baby responded. "I don't know what celebrity you are, but you still can't have these tinted windows." Lil Baby ultimately accepted the ticket and drove off. However, in a bizarre twist, he was stopped again on that same street by another officer for the exact same reason, this time leading to his arrest. Many believe this was his first warning that the feds may be keeping a closer eye on him.